After weeks of protests and renewed calls for racial justice, we are seeing change across the country. It's part of a discussion we'll continue here on Channel 3 tonight. Tiffany Tarpley gives us a look.
This is a time when important and difficult conversations are leading to action. We are seeing change across the country and right here in Northeast Ohio, a renewed push toward equality. Our Jason Fraser spoke with Akron community leaders and law enforcement about what's happening here and across the country after the death of George Floyd. Now, there is a move toward healing between police and the communities they serve.
Folks, that condemn a lot of the things that they've seen around this country, what they really need to understand that people do not riot or cause the property damage that they have seen when everything is okay. So if they've been treated humanely, if people are treated with dignity and fairness in a society, they don't do those things.
If there are bad relations between law enforcement and a certain community, that bad relationship didn't start overnight, and it's not going to be fixed overnight. It's going to take time, and it's going to take conversations and mutual respect by both parties.
Tonight, the conversation continues. Our next Front Row, A Turning Point, airs tonight at 7 o'clock, and we want you to join in. Use the hashtag 3TurningPoint and watch with us. Tiffany Tarpley, 3 News.